for a week straight of games because you did not want them to answer anything. All of a sudden, Stephanie White's in a panic, in a crisis, because it's real hot in that kitchen. I mean, you could see the steam coming from underneath the living room door. It's too hot. She can't handle it. Like Charles said, her job, she felt, was on the line, and she just closed her eyes. You know, when somebody can't fight, they close their eyes and they just start doing the windmill and swinging at stuff. And that is exactly what she did.
Is anyone actually convinced the roster stands behind Stephanie White? Not even close. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark were pushed out to the microphones because that's their assignment, the same way Clark got rushed in front of cameras right after that whole scuffle with Scott Agnes when his press pass got yanked. They shoved her out there to face reporters. Look, the organization kept Cunningham and Clark buried away from press for an entire week of travel games. Then suddenly White is scrambling, and it's fine. His name is Jason Whitlock. Go ahead and use his name.
Did lead with love, but go to hell. That needs to be put on a poster. That is an insane quote. I think this lady, regardless, you can't fool me with the emotions and the shaky voice. And Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, blink twice at the podium if everything's okay, because I think somebody is behind you guys, behind that Indiana Fever logo with 2 double-barrel shotguns at your back, telling you what to say. Stephanie White still needs to be fired.
No need to dance around it. It's also Dave Portnoy. He's been destroying them, and White can't cope with it. We've all noticed. It's fine to say the name, Stephanie White. Here's the deal. The franchise buried the 2 biggest draws on the roster for a full week of contests because they refused to let them field questions.
Back telling you what to say. Stephanie White still needs to be fired. And sorry, Andrea Carter, you guys choose to not speak about certain things all the time. You ignored the fan that was assaulted in the stands in Seattle. You guys pick and choose what you're going to talk about. We have watched every Caitlin Clark dribble since she has joined the Indiana Fever, so we've seen it all. Many of us have been calling for Stephanie White's job for over a year straight. I didn't start calling for her job because of this.
Then out of nowhere, White is in full meltdown mode because that kitchen got scorching hot. You could practically watch smoke drift out from under the living room door. She couldn't take the heat. Like the analyst mentioned, she believed her position was hanging by a thread, so she shut her eyes and swung wildly. That's what happens when someone can't actually fight back. They close their eyes and start throwing haymakers blind. That's precisely what took place. Lead with love, but go to hell. Somebody print that on a banner.
I didn't start calling for her job because of this. This is just icing on a cake that's been done and prepared to be served a long, long time ago. Sorry, Andrea Carter. That's not going to work.
Dre, let me ask you 2 questions. Be quick, but don't hurry with the first. Get to the second one. One, do you think Stephanie White's going to survive? We've got the president coming out with a statement, the team president in full support, the kind of vote of confidence. And then the second part of this.
What a bizarre thing to say. Regardless, nobody buys the tears and the trembling voice. Clark, Cunningham, blink if you're being coerced, because it looks like there's someone standing behind that team logo holding shotguns to your backs telling you exactly what to say. White still deserves to be let go, and no offense to Andrea Carter, but this organization routinely avoids certain topics. They stayed silent when a fan got attacked in the stands out in Seattle. They cherry-pick what gets addressed. We've tracked every single possession Clark has played since arriving with the Fever.
The kind of vote of confidence. And then the second part of this, no, answer that first, because I think we got a Christine Brennan clip I want to play. So answer that one first. Do you think she's going to survive?
In any bureaucratic organization, Jason, when they give you that vote of confidence, it usually means the exact opposite of what they're telling you. That means your seat is warm and you should watch your back, watch your behind. That's what it means. She knows that. Anybody who's worked in corporate knows that. Even in the sports world, you know it. I remember I was playing in Montenegro 2008. First practice, the coach said to me, "Don't worry.
Nothing gets past us." Plenty of people have wanted White gone for well over a season now. This latest episode didn't spark the calls for her removal. It's just the final layer on something that's been simmering for ages. Sorry, Andrea, that excuse won't fly. Quick pair of questions. Answer fast but think it through on the first one. then move to the second. Does White survive this?
First practice, the coach said to me, "Don't worry, you don't need to play great here. We already had decided we're investing in you. We're not making a decision about you based on how you play in this practice." I knew exactly what that meant. You play bad, you're going to be on the coach class fight back home tomorrow. And that I knew I needed to play well in that practice. And I was able to stay on the team because I made every shot. So when they give you that vote of confidence verbally, that means you're on your way out.
Dre, you just went Stephen A. Smith 2.0. How many?
I knew you was gonna say that.
Did you
17 straight 3-pointers,
17
yes.
straight? Or, I mean, how many?
Yeah.
The franchise president is reportedly issuing a statement backing her fully, basically a vote of confidence. But answer the survival question first, because there's a Christine Brennan segment coming up. In any corporate structure, when leadership hands you that public vote of confidence, it usually signals the opposite. Your job is on thin ice, watch your back. She understands that. Anyone who's spent time in an office job gets it. Even in athletics, you feel it.
Yes.
Straight? Or, I mean, how many? Knock down every. All right, Dre, part two. Let's play this Christine Brennan clip that I think has like the solution. Just why can't the WNBA just follow the same standards as the IOC and FIBA and others? But let's play the clip.
You've got these two players who are clearly mocking the transgender community. We've got to say that right off the top. But also, they're mocking the lack of leadership in the WNBA and the fact that on so many other issues, Kathy Engelbert has been silent or missing in action.
I remember playing overseas in Montenegro back in '08, first day of training camp, and the coach told me, "Relax, you don't have to be spectacular today. We've already committed to bringing you on. This practice won't change that decision." I knew immediately what that actually meant. Play poorly and you'd be booked on the coach's flight home the next morning. So I understood I had to perform in that session, and I ended up sticking around because I hit every attempt. You just channeled peak sports debate energy there. How many shots exactly? Wasn't it something like 17 in a row? Yeah.
Kathy Engelbert has been silent or missing in action. Now, the good news is that the international basketball community has given the WNBA the way to go. The FIBA, which is like FIFA for soccer, FIBA for basketball, has a policy that if you've gone through male puberty, you cannot compete in any of their events, World Championships or World Cup basketball. Next month, Caitlin Clark and 11 other players will represent the U.S. at the World Cup. All the WNBA needs to do is just say, we are going to follow the rules.
Let's roll that Christine Brennan clip. I think it lays out an actual fix. Why doesn't the league just mirror what the Olympic Committee and International Basketball Federation already do? These two athletes are clearly ridiculing the transgender community. We need to state that up front. But they're also poking fun at the absence of real leadership from the league office and how Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has gone quiet or vanished on so many other controversies. The silver lining is that international basketball has already laid out a template. FIBA, essentially the global governing body for the sport the way FIFA runs soccer, bars anyone who went through male puberty from competing in their tournaments, whether that's a World Cup or World Championship event.
Always, always, always going to be a problem. Check this out.
For a considerable amount of time, which I thought was awesome because it's so Caitlin Clark spoke out today for a considerable amount of time, which I thought was awesome because it's been almost 9 days that she stayed silent while the next civil war was brewing. But, you know, better late than never, right? And so I think what she had to say, a lot of people will find very cool because she really...
Next month, Clark and 11 teammates will suit up for Team USA at the World Cup. The league could simply announce it's adopting the same standard the International Federation already enforces, especially with a dozen of its own players about to compete under those exact rules. This is an activist league through and through, roughly 3/4 black, somewhere between 30 and 40% gay, and heavily progressive. So now Engelbert has to convince a players' association that leans strongly pro-transgender rights to accept a policy that isn't progressive at all. That's the bind she's in. 30 to 40% gay nearly floored me.
And so I think what she had to say, a lot of people will find very cool because she really talked about investing in officiating. And she said, look, let's start with treating the referees better, which I hope she says that to herself in the mirror because, girl,
Okay, shot fired already. Shots being fired already. Okay.
She also said, hey, let's pay these people like they are full-time employees because it's a hard job. I thought that was really awesome. She also said, hey, let's invest in better technology.
But why can't they just adopt the global standard already in place? Because the league has fully aligned itself with the broader LGBTQ movement. That's a huge chunk of their audience. And if they announced they were adopting that rule, you'd see instant backlash. Remember the boxer at the last Olympics who turned out to be biologically male competing against women? That caused a firestorm. The league would face that exact same storm the Olympic Committee dealt with, and a large portion of the trans and LGBTQ community would revolt against it.
Job. I thought that was really awesome. She also said, hey, let's invest in better technology to help them out. So all this was great, like harping on the officiating and saying like, it's bad, but we can fix it. And she went on to say, look, that was a flagrant foul. And there are other players in this league that are recipients of those type of fouls that do not get caught. So we got to fix this. All great. Then she turned to the media saying, look, you're taking this story to angles that it shouldn't be, and it's not helping our league. We need to fix that.
I don't think Adam Silver or the league's leadership wants to absorb that kind of hit right now, even though making the change would be the smart defensible move. Do you agree with that take? Somewhat, yeah. But here's the thing. At no point in American sports history has a league ever said, let's just copy what the Olympic Committee does. We fought tooth and nail against European track and field regulations for decades. It's always selective, whatever benefits us in the moment. Listen, here's the real difference in what the league claims. There's no scenario, has never been, and never will be, where a man transitioning to female is actually playing in this league.
Shouldn't be, and it's not helping our league. We need to fix that. And then she went on to denounce hate and harassment. All good. Most people will find this a great statement.
All right, here she goes. This is where nothing Caitlin Clark does or says is enough for these people. And this is why Caitlin Clark just shouldn't even say nothing else about it. Let it be.
But there's one group who will absolutely love what she said. And that's the racist. Because it's not what she said, it's what she didn't say. She didn't call them out specifically.
They'd never permit that, guaranteed. But admitting that publicly doesn't serve their narrative. Why won't they just take the easy solution that's sitting right there? Because we're hunting for reasonable decision-making from an organization that hasn't shown any. The obvious move would have been building everything around the sport's biggest attraction. Instead, they went the opposite direction.
It's what she didn't say. She didn't call them out specifically. She didn't say, hey, you racist, you bigoted, you homophobic motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of our league. There's no room for your shit. She doesn't have to curse like me. But
because she didn't go about it that way and just cursing and doing all of that, what she said wasn't enough. It didn't matter. This is what I'm saying. Nothing she do is ever going to be enough for these people.
Bitch, you got to be specific. And that is why she doesn't have to curse like me, but bitch, you got to be specific. And that is why we don't.
There's no rational thread running through any of this. Brennan nailed it. That's the actual exit ramp. I agree completely. But I doubt they'll take it, because this league consistently sabotages itself at every opportunity. I've stopped expecting them to make the sensible business-smart call or take this seriously as a real product. We just heard a former Fever player talking about starting an entirely separate league built around race and sexuality. What are we even discussing anymore?
And that is why we don't trust you, Blueberry Turnover. Because she knows all she has to do is the bare minimum. It keeps her support with the racists copacetic. It makes everybody else feel good. Oh, see, what a leader. No. When you're being propped up for racism, you gotta say it. When you're being used as a symbol for bigotry, you gotta say it. When you're being used to attack your black teammates, you gotta fucking say it. Because people don't just hear.
It's a sideshow. They have zero direction. Quick follow-up before we shift gears, then I want to hit a Pat McAfee segment. Last night's lopsided win over the Liberty, thoughts? The Liberty looked sloppy and short-handed, but I'd bet White, Krauskopf, and Cox are all telling themselves the locker room is unified now, and a postseason surge is coming. Do you buy that this win pulled the team together, and does it point toward a deep playoff push?
Fucking say it. because people don't just hear what you say, they hear what you don't say.
Nothing Caitlin Clark says is going to be enough for these people. Nothing. And this is why Caitlin needs to leave this alone. Just go hoop, do your thing, get the hell away from Stephanie White, if possible, immediately. Go to another organization. Just get away from this organization and don't pay these people no mind. Nothing you do is going to be enough for them ever.
And Blueberry, you make damn sure that in that 9 days of not saying
No. Any playoff success comes down to Kelsey Mitchell being nearly unstoppable. She's the most efficient scoring guard around. Clark ranks third in scoring and leads the entire league in assists. Any run they make traces back to that backcourt duo, not some team-wide rally behind the coach. Mitchell's playing on a max deal and will want a long-term extension this offseason. There's plenty riding on Clark proving herself too.
make damn sure that in that 9 days of not saying anything, that you were going to get up here, you and your PR team was going to construct something where you don't have to say what really needs to be said. So those are my thoughts on the situation.
That's nasty work. This is why I said, bro, Caitlin just don't need to say nothing no more. Nothing she say is ever enough for these people. It's always going to be a problem. Just let them be. Let them be. You go be great. Let them keep hating. Let them keep being the negative Nancys that they.
Cunningham will be angling for a new contract as well. What happened last night had more to do with the Liberty stripping out their athleticism and being unable to defend the perimeter, while Clark and Mitchell couldn't miss. Nothing to do with coaching unity. One more league-related item before we move on. There's a clip of a former player turned analyst weighing in on the league drama involving Enes Kanter and Royce White, making basically the same argument raised yesterday, that this bit has run its course. Let's roll it, then get a reaction.